On the 22nd of April 2024, Street George police officers responded to a 911 call regarding a disturbance at Sakura Japanese Steakhouse in Street George, Utah. The suspect, identified as 48-year-old Ida Ann Lorenzo, allegedly confronted a teenage woman before pulling down her skirt in front of other customers. But the viral video was only the beginning of her legal troubles.
Hello, are you Ida?
Yes.
Hi.
Good to meet you. So, these little girls have continued to incite a mob, and I've been harassed all day. Not only did you take it, they took it down from St. George Post and her Facebook, but now she put it on Instagram, and now she put it on TikTok.
Okay.
So remember, you look at my Instagram account, and they've been harassing me all day. So I turn notifications off and everything, but they are trying to reach out to they're inciting someone that reaches out for personal information to people to get their personal information, or someone that is known to like hunt people down, but someone that can, I don't know,
It's just a person that will either reach out to communities or through various ways they are able to obtain information and they share it.
As like a
to
private
people to
investigator?
achieve.
Yeah, as a private.
Whether the goal is to get somebody fired, to something like that. It's they
continue to tag this guy and reach out to this guy to find my personal private information. And all of my stuff is usually private anyway. I don't normally disseminate my stuff out there, but in this particular situation, I told them who I was because not only were there minors involved that were all seated around me, but my son was present as well. And so that's the only reason why I was like, listen, charges can happen. You're hanging out, your private parts are hanging out in private in front of minors. That's not something that you should take lightly, cover up. But it doesn't give them the right to disseminate my information publicly like that and to try to harass me to the extent that I've been having it. I believe I'm 100% in believing in freedom of speech but when you omit, delete, and make it seem like one situation is totally different than the other, and then accuse me of sexual harassment without the facts, at some point something needs to be done and needs to be stopped, and they have a reputation for doing this, which is why none of the minor kids wanted to get up and say anything.
The video she posted has currently reached 517,000 views.
Damn.
Yeah.
And people are
far her most viewed video.
And it's because she's putting me out there as a sexual predator.
Karen.
The hard part is, even if it's edited and made it deleted, obviously you could be looking at slander if it's not completely true, but the fact that you did touch her skirt, she can claim, if she wants, she can claim sexual battery, right? Mm-hmm. She hasn't. There's no legal investigation right now on either of you. Nobody's in trouble right now for any of that stuff, but it would have to be founded, right, on both ends, right? We know that you saw this, but we don't have any video evidence of her hanging out. We don't have any witnesses that have come forward and said this is what's happening other than I only have your account.
Because most of them were men, and I forwarded you a text message of the person that was with me that was a male, and it was I would be arrested in a nanosecond if I was sexually accused of touching someone inappropriately.
Before deciding how to proceed, officers asked the woman to describe what happened from her perspective. The goal is to establish a clear timeline before reviewing all available evidence. Investigators work to understand every side before making enforcement decisions.
Right?
Not touching, I just mean they saw. The witnesses come forward, there's documentation for it, that kind of thing.
But because of the sensitivity of the nature, and everyone thought she was a minor because she did look like a minor, and there was a ton of kids. It was the high school ball.
Did you think she was a minor?
Yes, I did. I actually thought she was, and that's why I was
I just don't understand. I don't understand why you went up and touched her.
I didn't touch her as a person.
You confronted. Well, you see how that looks, right?
I got a standing ovation from everyone that was seated.
A kid by touching another kid.
It's protecting a kid by covering their private parts.
Correct, but that's not your job to do.
Well, they weren't covering up, and
call us. That's what I was trying to tell you.
I was trying to. You could see me on the video trying to dial the phone.
It would take too long for us to get there, so you did.
No, but because they had everyone storming in, and you could see how they were being.
They thought she was sexually battered. That's her claim.
No, that's her claim. That's her claim.
And all she knows is somebody grabbed her from behind.
No, because I told her that her parts were hanging out. And then when nothing was being done and all the little kids behind me were just staring, that's when I proceeded to cover, and I was trying to dial. I mean, you see me on the video where I have my phone in hand and I'm trying to dial, but I couldn't even dial. And then that's when the owner was coming
I
up.
can understand your standpoint from it, but I guess what do you want me to do?
Well, the posts need to come down and they need to
That's
stop.
freedom of speech. There's no crime. They can say whatever they want.
No, but I mean, they're reaching me. I mean, all their little friends.
Have you told them to stop talking to you?
No, because then that is me instigating them.
But that's the only way that they can be harassing you. If you tell them to not contact you and then they contact you, then that's criminal.
Well,
If you don't say anything and you're engaging in it, then this is just a civil banter that the unfortunate thing is you're held to a little bit higher standard than that.
Oh, but then if I engage in the conversation, then that makes it appear like
You don't have to.
I am.
I'm just telling you, I can't do much. Legally, there is no... I can't tell them to stop posting anything.
So what would be
It's
your
freedom of
best
speech.
advice for her to respond? Should she come up with a drafted response of, please do not contact me any further?
That's what I tell everybody that has any claims for any type of electronic communication harassment. The hard part was, if they do contact you, yeah, we're gonna have a crime, I'd have to contact these girls, but is that their real names? Where do they live? Like, I don't have their information, you don't know them, we just know that they have, I could look it up.
No,
They
they've
have
got,
business accounts with their information.
Oh, yeah, okay,
And then-
I can reach out to them if they continue to harass you. That's
and then
upon certain requirements.
and then
to be
not
done.
only do I block them, and I just, I block them and I take a screenshot, and they're now making up fake names. fake
That's part of the
profiles.
harassment. So I haven't contacted them because I don't have any legal reason to yet. If you tell them to stop contacting you, then I can reach out to each one individually and tell them they can't contact you. It doesn't mean they have to put their videos down, but they can't contact you by indirect means or by direct means. So if they make a fake one, technically it's a Class B misdemeanor for every message they send after they've been advised by me or law enforcement that they cannot. Which it sounds like they're probably going to continue doing that, so they'll be looking at their own list of charges. But as far as legal, I know where you're coming from, but legally, I would be unconstitutionally removing those videos.
So our next course of action is going to be coming up with a drafted response saying to
post it on that?
to you.
Yeah, just to not talk to you.
To contact, who do they contact?
Just saying.
Well, no, because I've obviously contacted, see, the problem is that people, they're under the perception that I, for no reason approached her, I just touched her inappropriately, right?
The more you incite it, the more it's gonna get views, it's gonna blow up. Then the problem you're gonna run into is if she comes to the department because of this and she decides that she wants to go sexual battery against you.
So that's the only reason why I was like, if you don't cover your private parts and someone goes and reports it, it's worse that you're 18 or 19 because you're an adult and there's...
Sure.
Rather than debating the incident, officers focus on explaining the legal framework that applies to the allegations being investigated. Enforcement decisions are guided by law and available evidence.
Technically, as it is a crime, you cannot touch somebody if they do not want to be touched, and especially if it's in the area. If you pull her skirt down and that's touching her buttocks.
Well, I didn't touch her buttocks.
But her skirt is.
Her skirt was way beyond her buttock. I mean,
I'm saying what will she say?
About her privates.
What will she say? And the classification for disorderly conduct for you touching her is nothing but sexual battery is a Class A.
She was like, if she actually was showing her body parts and we can interview that 10-year-old, she's gonna get charged.
For sure.
And I was like, and that's what I was trying to avoid. I was trying to avoid...
I would not want to see that either. I don't want my kids to see that.
Yeah.
But I can't approach that myself. If we have the only documentation we have is potentially a tampered video that doesn't meet slander if all it is a posting without them actually introducing something new to it that is false. If it's just an account of what happened, whether they make it 10 seconds or 40 seconds, it happened and it was just posted as is.
Initially, the reason why none of them recorded it or it wasn't recorded or nobody has anything on it is because I was pretty discreet when I asked her to cover up, and she didn't.
You said she was probably embarrassed.
Yeah, she was.
She reacted.
But the reaction was, let me go tell my friends, and that's why she got her friends, everyone that was standing, the little small group that was inside, they went outside and they got...
You're saying you were there?
I wasn't. My brother
But he saw it.
was in the restaurant. I don't know if
He wasn't there at the time, but...
Yeah, I haven't wanted to involve my son, and I don't want to keep my 17-year-old on.
Are you seeing the opening? Are you seeing actual vaginal form?
Yes, because we were actually seated, and she was standing up, and she was at a height.
So you were under her?
Due to the shortness of her skirt, it was like this,
Okay.
and you could see everything open. And that's why I was like, so I stood behind her, and I was like, go like this with my clothing, and I was like, you know, you should probably cover up. And then at that point, she turned and she was like, like that, and I was like, oh my God. And that's when the dad was like, cover up, you know, and then the mob rush of kids started coming in, and that's at that point where I was like, oh my God, like you need to cover up. And that's when I pulled her skirt down to cover up, because instead of like covering up and backing up and saying, okay, is my skirt down? No, she proceeded to like lift her arms and move with her friends, and it kept going further up and further up, and that's why I was like, oh my God, somebody like cover it up.
And the information they might have is that they think you're sexually assaulting there. They don't know, but that's what they're hearing.
Correct.
So it doesn't seem like they're strangers to know how to get 500,000 views. That's not an easy task. You could have an incredible video that's motivational that doesn't get that kind of view. People love negativity.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're trying to exploit. So that's why the kids that were sitting on the bench were like, we don't even want to approach it. Like,
Don't want to be involved.
yeah.
I get it.
It's sad, it's like so sad. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening to us and giving
Yeah, of
us
course.
direction. Because I obviously have not engaged because they're 19 and I'm like 50, right?
Right.
So,
In the event though that you need to, I can do an investigation I will have to do the full investigation.
the CC Snow girl, she's instigating, she's an instigator. I would say if there's any way to reach out.
Go for it.
So, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate your
I
time.
hope you guys have a better night.
Thank you.
I'll see you.
No problem.
Officers now turn to additional witnesses, gathering independent accounts to compare with the statements already collected. Each interview helps strengthen the overall timeline. Independent witnesses can provide valuable context during an investigation.
Please. Thank you for coming in. I know this has been an ongoing thing. We talked on the phone yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? Witness statements, we talked about that a little bit. You guys all aware of what I was saying for statements and witnesses. Anybody there?
Yes.
Okay, so
And we have
these-
some more people coming.
Oh, for tonight?
Yes, right now.
Beautiful. So I told her that she can bring witnesses in too for whatever she thought that she saw. How these work is you just fill out your personal information at the top, everything that happened. If you need more room, there's one on the back, or if you need another one, you can do too. And then before you sign it, and everybody's over 18, right?
Yes.
Doesn't really matter for witness statements, but just. I've been talked to by the female Ida that came in here, and she's called me a bunch of times, trying to explain that Avery, you walked in and your skirt was so short, and that she was sitting behind you, and a 10-year-old boy basically pointed at what she said was your exposed vagina, as her words.
Right.
And I said, what do you mean? She's like, I could see her pubic hair, I could see her.
Can I ask them real quick?
She told me pubic hair specifically, and that was strange to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're wearing a high skirt, I'm like, then you're saying this is the underwear? Instead, she couldn't have been wearing underwear. So you're telling me you saw her entire vaginal form? And she said, yes. I said, the vaginal opening, and she said, yes. So that was what I thought I was dealing with. I was like, well, and then she went off on her thing, telling me what was going on about whatever. And then she said that she was with her boyfriend or something, and the kid points at it. The dad's like, oh yeah, and he covers his eyes, but the dad of the 10-year-old is not in any way, shape, or form related to her. She has no ties to them. They were just people sitting there. She said that she needed to protect that kid. She thought you were a minor.
Okay.
And so she was going to come up and address, and by pulling it down. And I thought, okay,
She came up, reached her hands, her cold hands went up my skirt, and I felt her hands up my skirt, and then I felt like a tug. And like my skirt doesn't go down much farther, like it's not that short of a skirt. And so I felt this tug, and I like whip around thinking it's one of my friends or something. And I'm just kind of standing there in shock, so I'm like, here's this woman I don't know who just came up and touched my bare butt. Like, I have no clue who this is. And like, not even the physical side of things, but mentally, like I'm struggling so much with weight problems. And for her to come up and do that and make me feel even more insecure in my own body is outrageous to me. And then she touches me, or she does that, and then she says, you're underage, you should probably hide that. If you think I'm underage, why are you touching a minor at all? Especially if you think I don't have underwear on.
yeah, the logic wasn't there.
No. And then she came back up a second time after Avery came up. Our other friend Avery, fun fact, same name, she was standing right next to her. And the second time she came up, she touched both their hips and squeezed them, like pinched us, and said she was going to call Child Protective Services if she saw the rest was on video.
I saw the video, and I think 57,000 other people saw it too.
Yeah.
The first time, so she never said anything. You turned around when the first touch, was that just skirt or was that your body?
No, that was my body and my skirt.
Officers address differences between the accounts already collected, asking follow-up questions to clarify disputed details. Resolving inconsistencies is a key part of any investigation.
She mentions that she told you first. She's saying that she stalked you and said, hey, you're inappropriate, blah, 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 and then you like scoffed her off, turned around, and that's when she pulled just the skirt.
Oh, no.
So that's not even true.
No, she went up to her and pulled down her skirt and said, you look like a minor, maybe she'd be wearing like out of nowhere.
Right, which I've talked to her, I wish less, but more than an hour.
So my perspective was, because
She saw
I
it.
heard a video of it, she's sitting on the bed tray.
She was saying, I don't want to, in the video she said, I don't want to see your whole ass cheeks, right?
But yeah.
And even if it was a little bit of, let's say, butt exposed, right? You're not talking your female genitalia exposed, correct?
I had
So,
shorts and underwear on.
and so she's also claiming that they couldn't have been on because she saw, like I said,
And fallen, yeah.
in detail, which that's why I asked those questions, just to see.
She's a video of her going this out.
I got that video, and that's why, so I can confirm that too. I'm just checking that you were wearing underwear. You were wearing shorts over your underwear.
The footage of the restaurant?
Oh, no, they
I'm in contact with the boss, and I asked her before any of this was happening if I could have the footage.
did she request that?
Well, she said, so she asked her husband to send it to her, and apparently he was working without her or something, and they both decided to just send it into you guys instead, like you guys take it over, but I don't think they sent it in.
They would need like an incident number, which I can give.
Yeah.
What did she say exactly before? Because the video doesn't, it's bits and pieces, but did she identify who she was?
She just said, I work for this state, and pulled out an ID and it just said her name. Like, none of
So
us
she
called
gave
her
you that?
name until later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't find it until we posted it on the
And she was like, I work for this state, you guys are all done, like, I'm calling the cops and CPS, like, you guys are toast, and we're like, toast for what?
Right. So just so you're all aware, none of that is an issue. If you continue like messaging her, if anybody messages her, especially if she asks to stop, and that goes for anybody, even if you're friends and you're like, don't talk to me electronically, and they do, technically, it's a Class B misdemeanor after the fact. And I have her story, your story, right? We always have that classic he said, she said, or she said, whatever. And it comes down to witnesses and people that were there. It comes down to the statements and what is in them and what the facts of the case will be. And it also comes down to any defense that could be plausible or deniable that could have or could not have happened.
Officers outline the work completed so far, including interviews, video review, and witness statements, before explaining the next steps. Building a case requires careful review of all available evidence.
Okay, so I told you I'd do a full investigation if they came forward, right? So they came forward with their side of the story, I only had yours. After listening to everything everything going on, I've talked to Sakura, I got some of their video, I got the TikToks, I think most everybody in the city has that TikTok. And then we got your statement, her statement, so I try to make it as unbiased and fair as I can, right? I do have some concerns from what I've been told by them. Obviously, some things you've also told to me, right?
It's happening while I'm at work, like during business hours while I'm at work, which is why
In
you
the
did.
city?
Yeah.
So I had my concerns from the get-go, and I'm going to just be straight up with you because this is kind of where we're at. I have some questions and some statements, but I'm going to advise you of your rights because of the severity of what the claims were, okay?
Right, and of course, you're gonna get their perspective because they were not behind her. They didn't see her, right? And so.
And you're also sitting down looking up, right?
Well, I, as an adult, right? But the little 10-year-old that was next to me is actually even lower than I am, but her skirt was hiked up, and no one, I think, that was sitting behind her will deny that it was beyond just her little crease. She was like exposing her whole, like, I'm telling you, we could see everything. I would not have to pull down her skirt to cover her.
Okay. So that's the unfortunate side of all this.
You're arresting me?
Right now you are under arrest, okay? So just face my sergeant and put your hands behind your back.
Don't reach in your purse, please.
No, I was just trying to get back.
Just follow those instructions.
Just relax your hands.
Do you have a vehicle here?
Yeah.
Is somebody here with you?
No.
Ida Ann Lorenzo was taken into custody and filed a misdemeanor charge in connection with the reported incident. The matter remains subject to court proceedings.